Hey guys, Cam for 15 back it up with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Chainsaw Man episode review for you guys. I'm sorry for getting this video out later. I was kind of busy this morning, but it is what it is. But back with more Chainsaw Man as Chainsaw Man was pretty interesting this week. Like really dang interesting. I guess we're getting like some sort of training arc coming up or here right now. With Power and Denji, and then we get left off with the episode of Aki in terms of making a new contract with a devil called the Future Devil, and that whole thing was absolutely wild with the fact that like we actually see the two characters that appeared from last week, and they're pretty much like, oh yeah, so this person, this devil like took like somebody's like half of their lifespan, and then I forgot what the other thing the other person said that this future devil took. But pretty much it's like I'm guessing this future devil is gonna take a good chunk of whatever Aki's got to left to offer, which is interesting. Just from that standpoint. And so far we only see an eye from it. Don't know what it fully is gonna look like, but it looks something creepy. But we see the determination that Aki's got, because obviously we start the episode off with him just waking up after what happened from last week. And then funny enough, he wakes up to freaking Power and Denji literally arguing with each other. So that's kind of the whole thing. And his story's, you kind of feel for Aki. Like for once, now he kind of feels what Himeno always felt like when a partner of hers died. She would have this huge burden and everything. And we get that moment where after Denji and Power leaves, he just has time to think and look, and then he just freaking just lets it all out. He just gets emotional and he starts crying, because somebody he cares about deeply to him is now gone forever. And the shocking thing is, we also find out that apparently he also has 2 years left to live. So I'm guessing this cursed devil, I guess, eats away. Oh, I didn't know. It was explained earlier that the cursed devil eats away at his lifespan. So he has 2 more years left to live. And we actually see it to where that's when the other two division people come in and say, like, listen, I think it's in your best recommendation to just not do what work for the special division anymore. They also say, like, yeah, practically everybody in Division 4 that's not killed, that's kind of it. Makes them mention that the guy with the glasses, he ended up, or Denji told him that the guy with the glasses ended up, dipping and everything. But regardless, they pretty much tell him like, hey, look, we understand with everything that's happened. We don't blame you if you want to leave, because, listen, right now you're not contracted with no devil, because we find out that the Fox Devil was so pissed off with the way that he made him eat, that Aki made it eat obviously more than what it could have, and it wasn't good enough. So the Fox Devil kind of, I guess, stopped making the contract and doesn't like him. So pretty much these people are like, listen, you can eat, we'll let you, there's no harm, if you just walk away from this and just like go live out whatever life you have left, which would be 2 years of life, or you can freaking get back into the hellhole of this job and risk your life to freaking stop the gun devil. But we know that Aki, he was already that type of character that he was already gun ho or dead set on trying to take down the gun devil. But even now, at the fact that his partner was at the cause of some of the gun devil's minions, he's definitely going to join in on this. And as they walk away, because he's like, sure, I'm gonna accept to what and continue to still work. And they're like, okay, we'll be back tomorrow to help you out with this whole new contract with the devil. And then we see it to where actually Himeno's sister actually comes in and gives him these letters that she's been writing, I'm guessing, to her family and everything, or to her younger sister. And it's actually pretty sad, man. It's actually pretty sad, because you see Aki's reading this letter. It's just Himeno pretty much telling her younger sister, like, I really tried to freaking make Aki like literally quit this job. Like it's not really worth it. That's kind of what the basic premise of what the letter was. It was just Himeno. Hold on. Stupid dog, dogs when they bark when the stupid male people come. Right, right, girl, right? Yeah, that's right. Anyways, the letter that Himeno was sending her sister was just from the standpoint like you could tell that she was physically and mentally done with working for the special division. She just wanted to get away from it. And it was this whole thing where she was telling her sister, like, I want Aki to get away from this before it just consumes him and things get crazy for him. And she goes on to make the mention, like, yeah, he just vehemently declined because he's so gun-ho of trying to stop the gun devil. And, the thing that gets Aki, I would envision to probably make him cry again, is the fact that at the end of the letter, Himeno pretty much said, like, and I really meant what I said to him, pretty much meaning, like, I wanted to go away with him and really take him away from this. And I really meant what I said about us probably going away from the special division and just having a regular life for once, which it makes her death a lot more, it makes her death hit a lot more harder than what it was, because this girl genuinely wanted to live off with Aki and just get away from everything and get away from this devil hunter stuff, because she knows at the end of the day it's pretty much life or death situation here, and it's kind of a thing. And I would envision that Aki got pretty emotional after reading that line. But Aki's whole story point, that's interesting. As for Denji and Power, well, they're introduced to this new character that I'm guessing is going to be their mentor, their trainer, that is going to help them become much better devil hunters, or I guess devils that will survive on their own. And actually, I forgot to make a mention. There was an interesting thing that with Denji, it was interesting because he's wondering if, like, in a way, like, is he losing, like, some humanity in him? I don't think he is. It's just I don't think he has had that person really super close to him that he would feel pain, because he actually overhears that Aki was crying, and he was just wondering, he's like, well, if Power were to die, would I be emotional about that? And he's like, nah, not really. He makes the mention, like, he's not really that emotional about Himeno dying. He's like, would I be emotional about Aki dying? Nah. And then he's like, well, what if Miss Makima died? And he's like, well, I'd probably be depressed for about 3 days or so, and then I'd just move on with my life and get over it. So he's wondering, like, is it because maybe his heart, he doesn't have like a human heart anymore or something like that? Because he makes mention, like, I got really emotional about Pochita. It could be interesting. It's actually an interesting thing. Like, I don't know if it's maybe an implement of the fact that now he's pretty much, his body is fused with that of a devil, is why he may feel like that. Or maybe it might be more of a thing of maybe he can actually handle death a lot better than the next person, because let's be honest, he's been a devil hunter since he was a kid. So maybe, in his mind space, when he sees people die, well, it doesn't really hurt him that much. Or it's something that he may feel sad for like maybe a day or two, and then he'll get over it. Some people are just kind of like that when somebody dies. Sometimes, not to say that they don't feel any resentment, but sometimes, somebody may be close to, I wouldn't say somebody may be close to them, but maybe like a family relative may pass away, and then all of us, and, you have that one family member that, is pretty emotional and very upset about the person's death, but they may be mourning for like maybe a day or two, maybe 3 days, and then they'll get over it by a week's time, and they'll be ready to move on. Well, in some cases, some people, it takes them a while to mourn. So maybe it's a thing where Denji has his own, type of way of mourning death. But regardless, this individual, damn near, he's from Special Division 1, and he's like pretty much telling Denji and Power, like, listen, if you plan to go up against the Gun Devil and his minions, well, you're going to need to be a lot strong. Otherwise, you're going to get your asses killed, and yada, yada, yada. You'll lose whatever, thing this guy's trying to gain. Especially he's referring to Denji. He's like, it seems like the Gun Devil's after your heart for some weird reason. So we got to make sure I train you guys up so you guys can actually better defend yourselves. So then you're not always getting your asses kicked, and then guess what? You're losing fights because, as you remember, Denji pretty much got his butt kicked. He lost, and then Power just ended up running away out of fear because she wasn't strong enough. And just to see like the fact that this guy was absolutely dominating them to the point he was like just damn near killing them with utter ease. It was absolutely crazy. We kind of do find out that Denji and Power are pretty much immortal like people or immortal like beings. You know, the thing that helps them back, like he ends up breaking their neck and they can't move, but if they drink blood, boom, they're back. You know, they're like, it's like they're 100%. I guess in a way, it's like how One Piece whenever a bone is broken or a tooth, or you know, a One Piece character is missing a tooth, all they need to do is drink milk, and next thing you know, that tooth grows back. So it's interesting. I do like the fact that the guy acknowledged the fact, like the second attempt they tried to, you know, defeat him, it was a lot better, but there were still flaws in his plan. Like, you know, he told Denji like, yeah, Power used too much blood, so guess what? It made her. It just makes her weak, and she's put at a disadvantage. You should have seen my attack coming, but you didn't. And even then, when he's like, okay, we'll continue this training tomorrow. And Denji's like, hey, Power, you know, we're done. And then all of a sudden, the guy just throws a knife when Denji least expect it. And pretty much the dude's like, I always expect the unexpected, pretty much. Expect the fact that, you know, that devil hunters know that you're not dead if you're trying to fake a death, because they'll finish the job on you 100%. So that's the thing there. So Denji and Power, they're having a difficult time against this guy. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they got to do to I guess get stronger than this guy. But it seems like we got a training arc going on. We had another great episode, our anime ending to this episode, and yeah, definitely can't wait for more Chainsaw Man. Definitely be interested to see where the story goes and where the characters ultimately go going forward, and especially where this Gun Devil plot line is gonna be headed. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Chainsaw Man, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Chainsaw Man content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Peace.